Alright, so what is up, guys? This is Faye back here as usual. So, talking about HUTAO. So, as promised, this video will be uh, my HUTAO guide video. So, this video I'll be mostly sharing about guides about HUTAO and also about some of HUTAO's tips. Alright. So let's start from the most basics. So HUTAO is a 5-star poem character. Okay, she's Pyro, and her role is sub DPS or sub on field DPS. All right. So before that, let me actually go down her volume a bit. She's a bit loud. Alright, so first things first, HUTAO's banner is in about 12 or 13 days. For those who are playing for HUTAO, I wish you all the best and good luck for getting HUTAO. Alright, so for HUTAO, of course, you see my gear is level 90. She's a 5-star poem character Pyro, as I mentioned just now. So her main ascension set is actually crit damage. So crit damage is at 88.4% at level 80 ascended, including the base crit damage. So in total is 88.4. So all of my RT stats here is like total stack up to 200 something. Alright. So her ascension stat is crit damage, and then for her weapon, I gave her damage. So for weapons, there are actually multiple choices. Alright. But for me, I give damage because it's a crit rate, like bot. Yeah, it's a crit rate bot weapon. And for some of people who if Dragon's Bane is actually valid, but you have to kind of balance out the crit rate for it. Alright. And another option is actually Black Cliff Pole. Like it gives a lot of crit damage as a 4-star weapon. So it's actually eligible. Alright. And another one is probably Moonpiercer for specific HUTAO team comps like Virgin HUTAO, which is actually eligible. I'll explain later on. And for Kitan, I'm not really recommended because this weapon says increases elemental skill damage by 7.5, but her elemental skill doesn't actually really buff her damage. I mean, it doesn't really do any damage, so therefore Kitan crossplay is not really my recommendation. Alright. And for 5 stars, there are most of them that she can use, like the Staff of Homa, which is a signature weapon coming soon, which gives crit damage. You all probably have did research on it already. Another one is the Primordial Javelin Spear, which is actually Xiao's signature weapon. Alright, so regarding about Xiao's signature weapon, it gives crit rate, and it has a high base attack, which is actually really good because HUTAO has the lowest base attack among all the other characters in this game. So apparently Javelin Spear can somehow balance up her attack problem in another way, and it also gives crit rate, so which is actually kind of good for her. And other 5-star poems which I don't have is probably Camelid and something else. Probably don't have. Alright, also there are weapons like what's it again? Zhongli's signature weapon for Vortex Vanquisher. Yeah, you can actually use that too. It's not too much of a big deal since she can also gain stuff on attack percentage also. I mean damage on base attack. And Scarlet Spine is also eligible thing since it has a high base attack and increased decent crit rate and injury charge and substat is really good. Just the problem that you do kind of balance the stupid crit rate, which is actually a problem for most players. And the missing frame space is also another option since it increases attack percent and also elemental mastery. So I guess it does help too. So before I enter the artifacts, I'd like to explain about her talents more. So for her talents, alright, so she have 3 forms of attack, which is normal attack, charge attack, and bludgeon attack. So here are the ratios for level 10. So if you pay attention, she actually have quite nice feeling for charge attack multiplier. This is mostly because her DPS output style mostly rely around charge attack style. So yeah, this will be a main point I'll be talking about later. So her combat talent, which is elemental skill. So when you use this skill, so what you will do is it will decrease 30% of your current HP instantly, and in exchange you get 9 seconds of pyro infusion damage, and you also gain attack increase based on your max HP. And also when you charge attack an enemy, you will leave a blood blossom damage on them. Blood blossom on them for like 8 seconds, and the damage is like it scales on attack. Yeah. Okay, so it says here Paramita Papilio, which is the elemental skill. So it says increases HUTAO's attack based on max HP at the time of entering this state. Attack bonus gain this way cannot exceed 400% of HUTAO's base attack. Right. So base attack, or let me mention again for those who don't know what base value is. So for base attack, when they say base attack or base defense or base HP, it means the white color value digit here. So this is what you call base stats. Alright. So if for you want to change base attack, there's only one way, which is actually giving her a higher base attack weapon. So that's the actual only option. Alright. So it says here it increases HUTAO's attack based on max HP at the time of entering this state. Attack bonus gain this way can exceed 400% of HUTAO's base attack. So you yourself can slightly do some math on this thing. Yeah. So it says converts attack damage to pyro damage. Yes. Attack damage means that it converts your whole thing here to normal attack, charge attack, and budget attack into pyro damage instead of just normal charge attack, which cannot be overridden by any other elemental equation. Right, so for charge attacks, it says apply the blood blossom effect to the enemy's hit. Yep, charge attacks only, right? And then it also increases HUTAO's resistance to interruption. Alright, so blood blossom. Enemies affected by the blood blossom will take pyro damage every 4 seconds. This damage is considered elemental skill damage, right? Each enemy can be affected by only one blood blossom effect at a time, and its duration may only be refreshed by HUTAO herself. Right. And Paramita Papilio ends when its duration is over or HUTAO has left the battlefield or fallen. So regarding about this thing, okay, so you can assume this skill is actually something like Xiao or Ayato or Child, but she's slightly unique a bit. Alright, so what this thing do is actually I explained a slight bit just now. So what this thing do is it decreases 30% of your current HP on the spot, and then you gain attack like increase based on your max HP percentage. And when you charge attack enemy, you apply blood blossom to them, and here's a blood blossom damage multiplier. And also blood blossom duration is like 8 seconds. So as I said just now, like there's 4 seconds, so you can have like 2 blood blossom damage at that time. And the duration for this skill is actually 9 seconds, and the cooldown is like 6 seconds. So when you finish this skill, you have like 7-second cooldown. So during this 7-second cooldown, you can just consider like doing rotations or just doing like just reapply shields or reapply heals for HUTAO or something. So for elemental burst, alright. So this thing is actually pretty simple to understand. So she just deals AoE pyro damage 1 shot burst. Okay, it says upper striking enemy regenerates a percentage of HUTAO's max HP. This effect can be triggered up to 5 times. So it means that you can hit harmless enemies within the area. Like there are not much actual to care about, but the only thing to keep in mind is for the regeneration here, you can only trigger it 5 times. So no matter how much enemies are there within the area when you burst, you can only regen up to 5 times. Yeah, and if HUTAO's HP is below or equal to 50%, when the enemy is hit, like both the damage and HP regeneration are increased. Yeah, this is where you actually see most of the HUTAO videos like doing Duke, like with low HP. So this is also one of the reasons. And also there are one of them here. I'll explain on later. So for elemental burst, it's actually nothing special. So here is the skill damage for her burst. So this is the normal skill damage, which is 194 for level 10. This might seem normal until when you see the low HP skill damage, which is actually so much higher, like 670%. Plus she is a pyro, she can probably flip this damage or melt this damage, so it might be really really high. And this is the skill HP regeneration, which is like 10% max HP for an enemy hit, so it might regen like 50%. Okay, but for low HP skill regeneration is like 13.60 max HP, and the cooldown is 15 seconds followed by an energy cost of 60. So this one is more to like a subburst DPS, subburst skill. So just use it at your own will, I guess. For me, I'll use it when she's like low HP and there are a lot of enemies. Okay, so let's come down to the first Ascension talent. Okay, so it says when a parameter popular state activated by Guide to Afterlife, which is the elemental skill ends, all allies in the party, excluding HUTAO herself, will have their crit rate increased by 12% for 8 seconds. Means that when this 9-second duration is over, or she just leaves the field, everyone in the team except HUTAO herself will have 12% extra crit rate for 8 seconds, which kind of covers the downtime for her elemental skill. Yeah, that will it gives you 1 second extra. So for her second Ascension talent, which is Ascend at level 60, you get this. So it says when HUTAO's HP is equal or 2 or less than 50%, her pyro damage bonus is increased by 33%. Means that she can gain more damage output when she activates her E when she has 50% or lower HP. Alright, so her passive talent is when HUTAO cooks a dish perfectly, she has a 18% chance to receive an additional suspicious dish of the same type. Same as Ayato, I guess. Yeah. Alright. So for next time I'll talk about her weapons. No, not weapons play. I mean artifacts. Okay. So for Flower and Feather, there are nothing special. I mean, their main stats always the same HP and attack. But however, what you want to keep in mind is for substats, you might want to try to strike for crit rate and crit damage. And of course, it would be best to have a HP percent and EM. Alright, also attack percent will do. Alright, for Feather, it might be the same condition. And for Sense, okay, Sense, so I've seen some people giving attack percent Sense. I mean, it works, but however, after my own calculations, HP percent Sense are actually better in multiple occasions, as you are able to stack more HP at the same time. Your elemental skill allows you to scale your HP and give you extra attack bonus. Right, so this thing is actually better. A HP percent sense is better compared to an attack percent sense. Alright, yeah, for those who don't know, you just press the attribute recommendations. You already see that most people give HP percentage, and only like some give elemental mastery, and the least people give is attack percentage. So my personal best recommendation is actually giving a HP percent, right? And also for Goblet, it will be Pyro Damage Goblet, like for real. Alright, so for substats, it's also still the same. Crit rate, crit damage, HP percent, or EM, or attack percent. And for Circlet, alright, so for Circlet, okay, let me give you honest words, alright. So give a crit rate Circlet if your HUTAO have less than 50% crit. Just give a crit rate Circlet. Don't try to greed for damage when you can't even crit. Alright. Alright. So in my case, I give crit damage because I have run a deathmatch, which is a crit rate bot weapon. So therefore I can give a crit damage circle with decent crit rate here. And somehow I'll need balance her to like 60% crit rate. So just honestly listen to my advice. For those who run a Dragon Bane, a Dragon's Bane, Black Cliff, or Homa, if you can't balance if your crit rate is below than 50, just give a crit circle. Don't even try to crit the damage and pray that you can crit that RNG. That doesn't work, alright? So for Constellation, we'll be talking about if you are planning to go for the Constellation. So let's speak up more about C1, where everyone had been saying like, it is so good, you have to get it. Alright, regarding about this C1, what I would like to say is it's not a must to get, honestly. Okay, if you are forced to make a decision between should I get a Homa for my HUTAO or should I go for a C1 for my HUTAO? Okay, my honest words is go for a Homa. Alright, a C0 Homa is better than you getting C1 HUTAO without Homa. Because HUTAO stats are actually quite hard to maintain if you don't have a crit weapon. Honestly, that's how terrible you need to maintain a HUTAO stats, crit damage and stuff. Alright, so a C0 Homa HUTAO is better than a C1 Homa. No, I mean C1 HUTAO without Homa. Alright, so a lot of people have been saying like, oh, the C1 is actually really good, like it gives you a lot of DPS output. Alright, honest words for this. Yes, you can get its quality of life changes. Like it does give you a bit more DPS, like actually a bit. Alright. So but for me, C0 is actually enough to play. I've been playing C0 without for quite a lot of time. I've been using her, like I have like literally no issues with her. Alright. And for C2, it says increases the Blood Blossom damage by an amount equal to 10% of HUTAO's max HP at the time the effect is applied. Means that your Blood Blossom damage can scale on HUTAO's max HP instead of just like attack. Yeah. So this one is like another alternate damage improvement in another. Additionally, the Spirit's Suitor will also apply the Blood Blossom effect, which is actually another way to get better DPS, I guess. Yeah. So for those who don't know what a Spirit Suitor is, it's actually her elemental burst. So her C3 is another DPS increase. So it says increases the life of guy to afterlife by 3, which is a mental skill. So this is more to like charge attack and DPS increase and stuff. Alright. So for a C4, it says upon defeating an enemy affected by Blood Blossom, that HUTAO by herself or nearby allies in the party excluding HUTAO herself will have their crit rate increased by 12% for 50 seconds. So it means that if you kill an enemy with this, like your whole team will gain 12% crit rate excluding HUTAO herself. Alright. So counting with the passive talent, the essential talent we have here. So if the duration stacks together, you can probably get a 24% crit, which is actually pretty insane. Right. So for C5, increases the elemental burst level by 3. Nuke damage showcase for this, I don't know. Alright. Also more HP regen probably on this. Alright, and C6, which actually makes her a bit broken, I guess. So triggers when HUTAO's HP drops below 25% or when she suffers a little strike. HUTAO will not fall as a result of the damage sustained. Additionally, for the next 10 seconds, her all elemental and physical resistance is increased by 200%, which technically makes her technically unkillable, right? Yeah, she is almost invulnerable in this deck, almost, alright. She can still die under some circumstances, right? Her crit rate is increased by 100%. Yes, for those who keep hearing C6 HUTAO memes, you don't even have to stack crit rate, this is probably the reason. And her resistance to interruption is greatly increased. Yes. This effect triggers automatically when HUTAO has 1 HP left. And it can only occur every 60 seconds, means you can proc it every 1 second. So you need to be aware of the 1 second cooldown actually. Alright. So that's all on theory. Okay, now let's talk about her actual in battle. Alright. So when it comes to team, when you pull a HUTAO, you're like, I pull a HUTAO, what kind of team can I actually use? Alright. So for HUTAO, yeah, actually 2 kinds of reactions. I mean, technically there are 3, but one of the reactions we can't really accept it. I mean, we can accept it, but it's just not that wisely used. Alright. So first reaction is the Blade HUTAO team. Alright. And second, we have a HUTAO Virgin. And third is actually HUTAO Burning. So for the first HUTAO team, it's actually this team. Sadly, I don't have Yelan. So for those who have a Yelan, yeah, just assume Ayato is a Yelan, alright. So what's the benefit of this team is HUTAO as a running on 50 DPS for like 8 seconds. Alright. No wait, 9 seconds, sorry, my bad. 9 seconds. and Zhongli as a shield and protector. Alright, and for Yelan and Xingqiu, there will be off-field hydro applications. Right, so the advantages of this team is actually you have a hydro resonance, which makes you affected by pyro for 40% less time and also increases max HP by 25%. So the advantage of increasing max HP is she can scale more damage on this. Right, but the disadvantages of running you this team is you don't really have a healer for the team. Unless you have a C6 only, then you know what I just said. Alright, so if you don't have a C6 dong, and you only have a Yala and Xingqiu, I mean Xingqiu can heal but very little bit, so the only healer might be considered HUTAO herself. So this team works under majority conditions, but when you meet minor conditions like a Rift Down, you might face a slight problem. Right. So the second team is the old HUTAO team. So it's HUTAO Zhongli, Albedo, and Xingqiu. Alright, so how does this team work? It's actually still the same. HUTAO as on-field DPS, right? And Xingqiu as off-field hydro application, Zhongli as the shield, and Albedo as elemental mastery buffer. Alright, for those who don't know, Albedo's elemental burst actually buffs your nearby characters' elemental mastery by 125 after the 60 ascended talent. So therefore, HUTAO can actually evade and deal more damage. Meanwhile, Zhongli and Albedo can also give some buffs due to Zhongli shield and geo resonance. As you can see, characters protected by a shield have the following special characteristics. Damage dealt is increased by 15%, and dealing damage to enemies will decrease their geo resistance by 20% for 15 seconds. Means that Zhongli and Albedo can somehow in another way deal more damage off field. Alright, and for the team which I discovered myself recently is HUTAO Virgin. Alright, so I actually discovered this team when I was playing for 12 GB 3 second half. So the time I was actually pretty triggered that HUTAO, some people say HUTAO can pass. Like for cheap team comps. So I actually just used this, but like yeah, I found it quite fun to play. So how does this team work is actually Zhongli as shield and Nahida as Dendro applier. So Nahida's Dendro can apply over multiple enemies and for quite a long time, like 25 seconds. So Xingqiu will be the hydro application off field, and lastly HUTAO will be the one being on field and triggering Bridget, and also some blade reactions. Alright, so in this condition, HUTAO can run an EM weapon, which is actually Dragon's Bane, probably, or Moon Piercer. Yeah, depends on personal preferences. Alright. So another one is a Burning HUTAO. So Burning HUTAO, I tried her and I don't think it's actually a Alright. Alright. That's pretty much about the team. So now another thing I want to say is tips when playing HUTAO. So you may have probably seen a lot of people playing HUTAO with just charge attacking. Alright. Oh wait, I forgot to mention one thing. So the most important thing I forgot to say is actually the artifact sets. Alright, I'm terrible. Sorry, I forgot this part. So there are two suitable artifact sets for HUTAO for now. The two best sets, which are actually, in my personal opinion, Crimson Witch best, and also Shimenara's Reminiscence. Alright, so I personally prefer Crimson Witch better because first of all, the two-piece give pyro damage bonus, and second, it gives like extra overload burning virgin damage, and also increases vaporize and melt damage. And then also using the elemental skill increases the 2-piece set bonus by 50%, which is like 7.5 of its starting value for 10 seconds. Max 3 stacks. I mean, you cannot fully utilize the 4-piece set, but it's still good enough. Alright. So for Shimenawa, there is also an advantage, which is like the 2-piece give attack percentage, which HUTAO can use also. The 4-piece set give like when casting an elemental skill, if the character has 50 or more energy, they lose 50 energy, and normal charge punching attack damage is increased by 50% for 10 seconds. So a lot of people thought this might be good. Alright, I mean this is really good if you're only focusing on charge attack. means that you are technically fucked up when you are using when you want to use elemental burst to regain your HP back. Alright, so for those who use 4P Shaman or Reminiscence, you might need to keep an eye out on your elemental burst energy level. Alright, so back to HUTAO. So a lot of you might have seen like after E, HUTAO, you just see multiple people do this, which is like attack and charge attack. So I tested myself. So in that state, HUTAO can deal a maximum of 8 dashes, 8 charge attack dashes in E state, okay? So a lot of people have been doing that, so what I want to like make it right here is that is actually the wrong way to do damage output. Alright, so I played HUTAO for quite a long time, and I'll tell you honestly how to actually do damage output. Alright, so being attacked and connect by a charge attack where you are actually losing DPS. Alright, you're actually losing DPS when you just attack and charge attack instead of attack and charge attack. Alright, so just a simple demo. After I E, this is the normal playstyle. You just attack and E. But if you attack and E, you actually found out that she have a better transition into charge attack compared to when you just attack and charge attack. Alright, for another demo, like you'll see there is actually a like slight weird transition, but if I use attack and charge attack, you'll find out that it's actually smoother. It's actually smoother, and in a way, the overall results are also better than just attack and charge attack. The multiplier by calculation scaling, I not just by scaling, I played myself all the way long. I can pretty sure and I can guarantee that this is actually a big increase. Alright. So for my from my personal calculations, like it's actually like 200% or 100 something, close to 200% damage increase, not damage increase, to multiplier extra. Alright, so for those who want to play HUTAO, alright, when you E, try to attack and charge instead of just doing this. This is a waste of DPS, honestly. And for those who are trying to jump cancel, yeah. So and also a thing. So when you E, and when you are attacking, like you attack and charge attack, there's also a disadvantage where some of the enemies are actually too high. Your charge attack can't hit them. But in the case if you are attacking 2 times before you charge attack, at least your first 2 hits can guarantee damage. So that's actually an advantage when you do 2 attacks before you actually enter charge attack. And overall the damage is also higher too, and you can also have higher chance to proc more Xingqiu and Yelan's elemental burst backfield. So like this, I just do this. Yeah, it's just that simple. Alright. Alright, I think that's pretty much all the tips and tricks I would like to say about HUTAO and the guide I want to give. So, as a quite long HUTAO player, I got her in 2021, February 11. So, I have her almost for like 1 year and more. Like, it's almost going to be 2 years soon. So, yeah, I won't say I'm a extremely professional HUTAO player, but based on all of my experience, these are all of the help I can actually provide. Alright, so I really hope the tips and guides will actually help you guys. So I think that's all for my video today. And if you have any questions or any not suggestions or any justifications to say I'm actually wrong or something, right? Just leave it in the comment section below. I'll see you in my next video. Peace.